Hello, everybody. It is Barb Teckle. I am so happy, so glad to be back again doing the weekly readings for you after going through a respiratory virus since, well, January 2nd. And actually, just this past Friday, I finally feel like myself. So, I'm so happy to be back and share some inspiration and animal wisdom and oracle wisdom for you for the week. So I wanted to start with I don't know how these ended up in my inbox. I don't remember signing up for this, but I'm really enjoying them. It's from Moon Omens, and I get this little quote every day. And yes, when I read yesterday's quote, I thought, oh, I want to incorporate that into the reading for all of you this week. Before I do that, I just want to quickly mention I am still doing the Align with Your True Essence 2026 readings. And I've done some readings for some of you that follow me and listen to my YouTube videos or follow me on Substack. And oh my gosh, I'm just having such a great time connecting with all of you. Um, and some wonderful insights that have come through for the people that have booked the readings. And as always happens, I get insight from that too. So it's such a beautiful shared experience. But, anyways, I do have just a few spots open this week if that's something you're still interested in. I have openings on Tuesday and Thursday. So if that's something you're still interested in, I am still doing those, and I would love to be of support and guidance if that is something that is calling to you. So here is the quote. Making it to where I am today has taught me to trust what brings me peace, because peace is how my life tells me that I'm aligned. I love, love, love that quote. And I'm reflecting on a reading I did for somebody where this theme had come up. And, we ended a 9-year cycle and we're in the cycle of new beginnings. We haven't quite entered into the year of the horse, which is February 17th, I believe. We are still in the cycle of the year of the snake shedding its skin. And maybe you've been feeling some of that. Oh boy, did I with that respiratory illness I had. Wow, had a lot of gunk to clear, literally and figuratively and metaphorically, I guess. Um, but so we're still in that, shedding of the skin. And as I was talking to this person that had a reading with me, and especially depending on what your personal year is, if you're in a 9-year, all the wisdom we've gained from all those years previous is what helps us to evolve into the here and now of where we are. And if you really look back, all those experiences have helped us to learn and grow and evolve, and in many ways has brought us peace that we didn't have before. So, every experience, even though it can be challenging and feel challenging, at some point we do reach this space of peace. And I think that's what I really liked about this quote. Making it to where I am today has taught me to trust what brings me peace, because peace is how my life tells me that I'm aligned. Because when we are at peace, we're not worrying about the past, we're not worrying about the future. We don't get caught up in that mind loop. And we're just in a state of peace. And it's also reminding me, before I show you the two cards I pulled, I'm thinking of Franciscan Father Richard Rohr. And I just love listening to him at this stage of his life. He's 80, I believe he's 83 now, and he's got some health challenges. But he just talks about how at this stage of his life, he just loves to sit and gaze. He calls it gazing. And he just gazes. And it's just maybe his tone of his voice or that he's an elder. I just really like glom onto that when I hear him talk, because I can just feel that very peaceful energy. And that brings me peace too. So, the cards, I picked a theme for this week and then some animal wisdom for us. But first of all, we are still in, the new moon was yesterday, so we're still in the energies of that. And the new moon was in Capricorn. And I just thought I would share the archetype of Capricorn and how that works in your life and how you can apply that. So our Capricorn archetype is disciplined, determination toward those things we wish to see in our life and in the world. It's about integrity. It's about the ability to plan our work, stick to it no matter what, and align ourselves with our highest ideals and actualize our potential. So depending where that falls in your chart, mine falls in the 10th house. You may want to take a look at that if you're into astrology. But just looking at that, discipline, determination, integrity, and aligning ourselves what our highest values are. So the theme for this week, and kind of tapping into that energy of the Capricorn archetype, the theme for the week is serendipity. And I just really smiled when I pulled this card because it's such a positive, uplifting card. Not that oracle cards, they're really not meant to be negative. They are to help us shift our perspective. But this one is truly a very uplifting card. So the keywords of serendipity are opportunity aligned with readiness, the awareness of synchronicity, luck, and good fortune, of course, appearing as signs and symbols, a magical alignment of events. And as I think about as a collective, and what I hear other spiritual teachers talk about that resonates with me, is, we're moving into this place where it's not so much about the yang and the forceful energy, trying to make something happen. And I feel like it goes so perfectly with this quote too about peace. Because if we can align with peace on a more daily basis, that is actually like the portal, the opening for the things that are in alignment for our lives to more easily come in. Because if we're trying to control it or we're fighting against it, it doesn't work. And it just reminds me, recently, of course, of being, sick with the respiratory virus. There was nothing I could do. I mean, I could try and wish it would go away, but I just had to ride the waves of that, and two words I picked for this year are trust and faith. I don't always pick words anymore, but trust and faith just have really come up for me a lot in the last couple of months. So I decided for it to be my words for this year, and I've got trust and faith here on my laptop to remind me in bright pink. But I just think we're being called to really lean more into trust and into whatever our faith is. To have faith that, if we can pay attention to the serendipitous moments, how opportunity aligns with readiness, and how are we ready is when we can be more centered and grounded within ourselves. Then those opportunities can come into our lives. And then paying attention to the signs and symbols that are always around us. So just, when I look at Capricorn energy, disciplined and dogged determination toward our desires, and that we plan our work and we stick to no matter what, which is good to have structure, but we also have to have that place in there if we allow this natural flow to come into our life too. And I'm thinking of an example of after my first dog, Frankie, passed away. And if you remember that, if you've followed me, that was such a beautiful time in my life, taking her to schools and libraries and teaching kids about perseverance and empathy. And when she passed away, I felt so empty, and I just didn't know what I was supposed to do, with my life after that, because it was so pivotal, so profound. And I ended up adopting another special needs dachshund because I wanted her to take the place of Frankie, which you can't replace Frankie, you can't replace anybody, but I wanted to continue that same work. But it wasn't meant to be because I was forcing it. It didn't come organically. It's because I didn't take time. I mean, eventually I did because I realized what was happening. I had to take time and just really sit with what was important to me and to let life unfold from there. So I just think like serendipity is really speaking to that. And especially as we're still in the beginning of the new year, we're still shedding things that no longer serve us. And it can feel scary sometimes not to just forge ahead. We got to get things done. But we're still kind of in this contemplative space of just letting things unfold. And so the animal wisdom to go with serendipity this week is really perfect. I actually pulled this for a client last week. So if you are listening, you will know who you are, that we got this card, Iguana and Simplify. Maybe it's another extra nudge to pay attention to this message for you. But for all of us too, Iguana and Simplify. And when I look at this card, and Iguana has one foot on this more solid piece of fruit, and his other foot is just resting lightly on this very light leaf. And sometimes life can feel a little too too hard. Like the piece of fruit can be harder, and it's just asking us to come into equilibrium, and not be to try and balance between the two. We have to have both. We have to have both in our life. But I'm going to read the message from Iguana because I feel it fits so well with this. So Iguana and Simplify. Iguana says, curious and adventurous, Iguana skillfully balances one leg on the solid piece of fruit while the other gently stabilizes on the flexible leaf. So we get balance, right? It is as if Iguana has paused in contemplation, giving thought to how far and how high to climb. In this way, it is reminding you to ask where in your life you may be doing the same. While goals and aspirations are fine, Iguana is inviting you to stop to critically think about the next step. As you ponder the situation, it's important to ask yourself if this change will make your life simpler or has the potential to create more complications, taking you away from what matters. And I think about that word should. Well, I should do this. And when we don't want to should on ourselves, right? So when that comes up, that just means you need more time for contemplation if that's what you're thinking. So Iguana encourages you to tread lightly by looking at this from all angles. Don't try to force an outcome, but rather spend time in stillness so the answer aligned with your heart can reveal itself. Give each thought a chance to be heard. As you do, pay close attention to that which feels heavy and burdensome, and that which feels light and joyful. And when we do that, if we feel into our bodies, so many of us just try to escape our bodies, especially if we're in pain or emotional pain. But it's really feeling into this. Does this feel heavy? Does this feel off in my body? Or do I feel joyful and light when I think about this situation I'm perhaps challenged by? Let go of worry without any what-if scenarios and follow instead the buoyancy of what lands with delight and satisfaction on your heart. Sometimes goals are rooted in a past way of being when your true desire is to simplify your life. And that example I just talked about, when I got that second dachshund, in reality, when I took time to really be with what was going on inside of me, that's what I wanted. I wanted to simplify my life. Sometimes I said that already. Iguana is gently nudging you to take care and time to mend these old ways before proceeding. Embody the energy of Iguana as you move forward by staying curious, allowing your true self to take the lead, and remaining in balance as the desires in your best interest lightly and effortlessly fall into place. I can say for sure that is what I want. I don't want to force anything anymore. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work anyways. But I have to continue this work too. If all of us can continue just to align what brings us peace within, just imagine the world and all the opportunities that will come to us effortlessly and in alignment with who we truly are. So I hope that was helpful for the week, and I will see you again next week. Have a great week, everybody. The sun is out here even though it is freezing. We have wind chills 20 below or more, I guess. But anyways, the sun is out and I'm so happy to see the sun too, because we've had so many clouds the last couple of weeks. So, all right, everybody, take good care, and I will see you again next week. All right, bye.